gorgeous, and a very happy Drugstore December to you. It is such a joy to see you. Thank you for being here. Yesterday we talked about the worst drugstore makeup products, in my opinion, from 2022. But today we're going to lighten things up and talk about the best makeup that I discovered from the drugstore in 2022. This was quite the list. I'm going to try to share it all with you here today, so let's hop right on into this. The first product I'll talk about is the one that I'm actually wearing right now, and I'm mentioning it first because I don't want to forget mentioning it. Kisses Lashes in the style Pret-a-Porter. Oh my gosh, I love these. They became my go-to pair for this past year, and I love them because they're just gorgeous. Okay, I cannot stop wearing them. I love them. I have to get more of these. I have to get backups of these because they are that great. I mean, many of you know that I have my own lash line, which I love dearly, but trust me, I love lashes. I love all lashes. I don't discriminate. So when I find a pair that I really, really love, I cannot help but rave about them. And these have become my absolute go-tos that I would highly recommend you checking out. Okay, where do I start? Let's start with a setting spray that I absolutely adored this past year, and that was the e.l.f. Stay All Day Blue Light Micro Setting Mist. This is comparative to Urban Decay's All Nighter. I actually found that this one lasted longer than Urban Decay's, and I believe I did a side-by-side demo with the two this past year too. But wow, this stuff is awesome. And unlike the one with the green container, this one does not clog. That was my issue with the one that's green. Horrible pump, horrible spray. Ugh, I've not had any problems with this one. And it does an amazing job of keeping everything in place. So that's been my go-to. I don't have many eyeshadow palettes to share with you in today's video because I'm working on another video at the moment of the top 10 palettes under $10 from 2022, so that video will be coming soon. But the one that I really do want to rave about that I have been loving this past year is the one that just got very recently released, and this is the one from Alter Ego Cosmetics in the shade Harmony. I've talked about this one very recently, you may remember it. It is a dupe for the Natasha Nona Retro palette, and I feel like it's better. Better quality, better lasting power, better all the way around. And a much better price point too. Let's not forget to mention, it's been one that I have been using over and over again. I absolutely love it. And then I had also talked about the two e.l.f. bite-sized palettes, which will be in the top 10 palettes. So I'm not going to mention those, but many of you know I've already talked about those two little bite-sized palettes that have become my go-to favorites this past year. Another palette that I swooned over, told myself I was not going to get, but it ended up being really fabulous, and I'm glad that I got it, is this one from Physicians Formula. This is the Butter Dream Team Face Palette. Oh my gosh, this was amazing. So soft, so pigmented, great selection in here, and it was one that I found myself picking up over and over and over again this past year, especially these blushes. They're absolutely gorgeous on the skin, and I liked the powder too, more than I thought that I would. While we're on the topic of powder, there were three powders that really stood out to me this past year, not only for how long they lasted on the skin and how much shine breakthrough they eliminated, but also for how they made the skin look. These were absolutely wonderful, and I love these to pieces. The first one is from Essence. This is the 16-hour Cover and Last Powder Foundation. Ah, amazing. It's one of those you do not have to wear anything underneath. You can wear this on the skin all by itself. It lasts for a good amount of time. I want to say either 9 or 10 hours with a primer. I do believe I had to put a primer with it, but wow, doesn't transfer, doesn't move, looks beautiful, gives you that filter like skin airbrush look. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I love this stuff. The other one was the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder, and what I loved about this one was that it was not mattifying. It was luminous on the skin. It provided a radiant glow. It looked youthful, and it didn't settle into fine lines. It didn't cause my face to look cakey. It was, oh, I love this powder. It became another one of my go-tos this past year. And finally, this one came from one of our friends here on the channel, and I forget who it was, so forgive me. If it was you, say it was me. But the Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder, my gosh, talk about filter in a can. This was amazing. I mean, this is one that I featured in a thumbnail, and that video got, I want to say, close to 400,000 views within a month. That was nuts to me. I couldn't believe it. But that's how good the powder was. I didn't do any Photoshop whatsoever in that thumbnail. It was just the powder, and it made my skin look airbrushed and like I had a filter on. It was absolutely amazing, and it looks like that in real life too. And the best part is it does do a good job of keeping everything intact throughout the day. So highly recommend this one too, and very affordable. I want to say it was $4 at Five Below, and that was where I was able to locate it. For primer, this one from Ulta Beauty became my go-to, and this was the Poreless Face Primer. This is a silicone-based formula, and it outperforms some of the high-end primers that I have used. And I had talked about this in a video recently, but I would compare it to the Bare Minerals Prime Time Primer. It was so good, so comparative in my mind that I ended up throwing out my Bare Minerals one because I like this one better. It does a beautiful job of keeping everything intact, extending the wear time of makeup, and it's not expensive. I think it was like $12 for this, but wow, it was really, really good. There was another Ulta product I forgot to put here, so let me go get that real quick. This one. Okay, I cannot believe I almost forgot to talk about this. The Wanna Be Free Makeup Setting Spray. This was another one in conjunction with the e.l.f. setting spray that I used so much this past year. And oh, wow, I'm just telling you, you can't even put it into words. It keeps everything intact. It's like hairspray for your face. It's wonderful. I love this stuff. And when you pair it up with the Poreless Face Primer, you got yourself a winner chicken dinner here. Foundations. So there were 3 foundations, 3.5 because one is a skin tint, that I really loved and found myself using a lot this past year. The first one was a friend of ours here on the channel, one of her favorites, and again, the name escapes me, so forgive me. The number 7 Protect and Perfect Intense all-in-one foundation. This has an SPF of 50 in it. Holy moly, this stuff is amazing. It's very skin-like. It doesn't feel like you're wearing anything. It doesn't look like you're wearing anything. And I loved this foundation. It's one that I found myself using over and over and over again. The other one was from Neutrogena, and that was the Sensitive Skin Serum Foundation. Very similar to the L'Oreal, which one was it? True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. Very similar. But the pump is better in this one, or I should say the eyedropper. The applicator is much better in this one as opposed to the L'Oreal one, which I know a lot of you have struggled with too, myself included. I hate the applicator in here. But this applicator works really well. And the formula is comparative. It's really nice on the skin, looks very skin-like. A lot of good stuff, a lot of skincare ingredients in this one. It became one of those all-time favorites that I hope they don't discontinue because it's really, really, really good. Now this other one was a very recent discovery for me, but I ended up loving it, and I can see myself starting to use this one a lot more moving into 2023. I think it's going to be one of my most favorite foundations in 2023 because it's so good. This is the Revlon Color Stay Light Cover Foundation. The shade that I'm using is number 110. This says it provides 12-hour wear on the face. They are not lying to you when they say that. This one outperformed a high-end foundation that I tested alongside it, and that was the Fenty Ease Drop Foundation. Somebody had asked for a dupe for that. This is, but it lasts longer than the Fenty foundation, and it looks beautiful on the skin. My gosh, I had no shine breakthrough with this one after 10 hours. That was without a primer. Without a primer. So yes, look, see? Look. You need that one if you have oily skin, I'm telling you. This next one is also another very recent discovery for me, but it's not a new product. Like, it's been out for a while. I'm just late to the game, but you know, hey, c'est la vie. That's the L'Oreal Visible Lift Luminous Serum Tint. I love this stuff. It is so beautiful on the skin. So what this does is it gives a luminous glow to the skin before you apply your foundation, and my goodness, I love it. It looks so beautiful. The way that I have been wearing it is I will put it on and then put a light dusting of powder over the top, and the powder does not look mattified over it. It still looks very dewy on the skin because of the serum tint underneath, but this one looks so beautiful. I was really happy I discovered this one. So if you're looking for like a luminous skin tint, You can even wear this by itself. It looks really great like that too. From NYX, I finally tried their Wonder Stick this past year. This is probably another one that's been out for forever and a day, but I just tried it this year. This was their cream contour. It's got 2 shades to it, and I believe the shade I used was Fair. But this became my go-to cream contour stick for the year. I loved it because it was very easy to blend, easy to work with. It looked beautiful on the skin. Did not look overdone. It was very subtle, but it added a beautiful definition to the facial structure. Let's see, what else? Concealer. So Revlon's Skin Awaken 5-in-1 concealer was one, I believe I discovered it this past year, but it was one that I was using over and over and over and over, and I absolutely love this one. It does a beautiful job of canceling out dark under eye circles. It is waterproof. It's one you can wear in the pool. It's not going to budge on you. It's wonderful stuff. I'm really, really enjoying this one. The other one that I discovered was from Neutrogena, and that was their color correcting concealer. This is in the shade Peach, and I got turned on to this by another one of our friends here on the channel also, who said that she liked to layer it underneath her concealer for added concealment of dark circles, and whoa Nelly, it does a beautiful job of correcting discoloration in the skin, and the best part is it doesn't bleed through. There's a lot of color correctors out there where you try them, they start to bleed through makeup or they don't hold up throughout the day. Thankfully, that was not the case here. And once again, a lot of good ingredients for the skin in the formula. Niacinamide, excellent all the way around. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. My most favorite mascara, with the exception of the Blvd one, because I've talked about that one already this month, was this one from Maybelline, and that was the Full Fan Effect mascara. I ended up really, really loving this one, and it became my go-to this past year. And it was an accident because I went to go purchase the Sky High mascara, but for whatever reason, I got this one instead. I think it was because the packaging looks so similar, and even as I look at them now, like side by side, they both have that pink packaging, which is, I believe, what threw me off. I wasn't really paying attention. But anyway, it was a really amazing discovery because of how great it was. I mean, waterproof formula, it held my curl and my lashes all day long. Nothing moved, nothing budged. It became my go-to. From LA Girl, their soft matte cream blushes were released earlier this past year, and these became my favorite everyday cream blushes. Pretty much when you saw me wearing blush this past year, it was one of these because they look beautiful. You don't need much because they are so pigmented. A little bit goes a long way, but they blend into the skin so easily, and they look high-end. They don't look like drugstore. They don't look like they only cost $8. They are such a great product. So I thoroughly enjoyed those. From Blvd, I also discovered their lip liners and eyeliners. Really amazing quality. I didn't know what to expect, having not ever tried them before they were recommended to me, but holy cow, really amazing. And the eyeliner lasted, I want to say, upwards of 9 hours straight. Didn't budge at all on my waterline. I mean, it was amazing stuff. And the last product I want to share with you that really wowed me was the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon. This color specifically, this is in the shade, what shade is this? Lead the Way. I don't know what it is, but I have been loving these rose colored lipsticks. And what I love about this is not only the applicator tip, but the formula. It's very creamy, it's very soft, it is semi-matte. It will transfer on you, unfortunately, but I just love the color of it. And I love how easy it was to apply and reapply. So that became another one of my favorites this past year. Now I'm actively working on a whole video of your favorites from 2022. So that video will be coming out next week, probably at the end of the week, but I'm really excited to try your favorites also. So if you would like to share your favorites from 2022, please feel free to do so below as well. Thank you so much for being here, for taking the time to watch. I'm wishing you a beautifully blessed day ahead. I speak love, peace, and joy into you and into your home, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another video in Drugstore December.